He ora ngā kai ora.
Kia ora, I'm Anne Thorp. Welcome to KAI ORA. I've got the boys from the Wild Wild West coming for kai today. Lucky me. Ko Rewi Spraggon, Riki Bennett, me te mea o Waitakere a Bob Harvey aku manuhiri mō tēnei rā. He tino hoa rātou. I've got a huge Maori theme going on today with my taka. In the pātaka today I've got Kina and Paua, I've got pork and Puha, I've got the Maori potatoes happening. I'm going to make you a Maori Nicoise. I've got all this beautiful colour from the Otara markets. Come on, let's get on to our first dish. I'm making a real classic treat. It involves that Paua stuff, and it involves Kina, a little bit of chilli, and here I'm just carving up some ginger. So I'm going to bash these a little today. So a bit of a pulverising going on here. I'm going to get some really nice extra virgin olive oil and I'm going to caress it over each Paua, and in each shell, and put a little bit of ginger underneath each Paua, like this, just to give a little bit of the ginger flavour. We don't want to overpower the Paua now, and I'm just going to put them on my tray upside down like this. They're going to go in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes on 150 degrees Celsius. Let's get onto this Maori Nicoise. Now, on this tray here, I've got some urunika potatoes. They're the Maori potato, almost cooked. I'm going to put this piece of salmon on there. I'll just cut up a few slices like this. It'll finish off the potatoes in the oven, and that will just cook nicely to go on the plate. So you don't need any embellishment whatsoever, no oils, nothing. I didn't put any oils or anything on my potato either. Just put it in the oven and that should only take a few minutes. It's on a very slow cook because I've got the Paua in there, remember. What I also need to do here with these sugar beans and sugar snaps is put them into my pot on the stove, and I'm just going to blanch them like this. They'll only take a couple of minutes as well. To bring my plate back into action here, I've got a few cos leaves here I've washed, pop them on the plate. With my tuna here, I'm going to cut a couple of slices. Because we've got so much going on today with our kai, I'm only going to cut a couple of these slices for the four of us. Just turn this board over. I will put some cucumber into it as well. Nice big chunks like this. Chuck some cutting oil into the oil here, just to fry up. Want them nice and crisp, chuck over the top. Now with these eggs here, they're a 7-minute egg. And if you look here, they're just soft inside. This is how the egg should be when you're making a nicoise. Cut some tomatoes in half, throw those on as well. All this produce has come from the Otara markets. These mange tout are ready. And put them straight into my iced water because we want to keep that green colour happening. And we want to stop the cooking process. Cut these sugar beans up. I'll just massage a little bit of oil into these pieces so they can go on my grill. Just a little bit. It's quite an oily fish, tuna, so it's just to stop it from sticking from my pan. Let's check the salmon. Get those off here. Now look how beautiful that's cooked up. Lay them on like this. Beautiful. This should be hot now. Throw these on to the grill. That's what we want to hear, that sizzle. Honestly, they'll only be a couple of minutes. Let's cut into these potatoes. Look at the colour of them. Look how stunning my salad's becoming. Flip those over. Put that beautifully seared tuna on the plate. I've got these beautiful Ortiz anchovies here, and I'm just going to strew them over the top and all around my salad. They are the good anchovy. They are so tasty. I'm going to put a little bit of chilli over that as well, because I love chilies. Not too many, just to get a little bite here and there. Put the cutting ore over that. Look how crispy that is. And then of course finish off delicious New Zealand extra virgin olive oil. And this is the stuff. Sprinkle that over just like that. And there we are, a beautiful Maori Nicoise. Well, now that that Nicoise is out of the way, let's have a look to see how those Paua are going. So, over here. Ooh, stick it out. Like this. And we'll see what we have here. Now that's the ginger that I put underneath. Let's just sliver this up. I'm going to try a piece of this. That is just melting in my mouth. I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to pop some Kina that I've taken out of the shell over there and put it on top like this. To garnish it, I'm going to use the few shards of chili over the top. Half a lime. Like that. Squeeze a little bit over the top, just a little, and of course tiny weeny bit of oil over it, and there we are. That's our dish. A very, very decadent dish indeed. Now that we know that that Paua is so succulent, we can even get really, really clever and do hardly anything at all. Take that out of there like that, chuck the Kina on top, like this, just pile it up on top, same thing, but look how beautiful that looks. Few shards of the chili, half a lime, same thing, a little bit of oil around the edges. And there we go, two versions, same thing. Beautiful to look at. KAI ORA. catch a little puaka and put it in the pot. Mix it up with puha, and what have we got? We've got the classic Maori feed. This food was what I grew up with. It all went in the same pot, nothing much to it, but it's absolutely delicious. And every Māori knows that. Here's the pork here. Over in this pot over here, I've had some pork bones simmering for the last hour and a half, and it's ready to put the puha into it. Puha is a Māori superfood. It's like the broccoli is to the Pākehā. It is fantastic. It's got 3 times the antioxidants of blueberries. We eat everything except the flowers on it. We drink the juice. We can't get enough of this green. So I'm taking out the flowers. I've taken out most of them. I'm just double checking them again, and a few of the hard stalks here, and throwing them into this pot here. Now that pork, being 1.5 hours cooked, is ready to take this puha. And I've also got over here a sausage called cotticino. It's from Salumaria Fontana. It's made in Wellsford, up the way. It's got a little bit of masala in it, so it is a different taste, but it's definitely a pork sausage, so it's going into the pot too. You can't have enough puha. If you've got a sack of puha, you need that much, because it boils down to nothing. The flavour of it is exquisite, especially if you're a Māori. The rest of it in, I can see it's all nice and clean. Put this pumpkin into the water here too. Fire it in. I've got salt in here, good dollop of salt with the pork. This pumpkin's going to cook up lovely with the pork flavourings, the pork fat. Now don't worry about the pork fat, because that puha is going to absorb it, sort of breaks it down somewhat. If you are concerned about it, skim it off. It doesn't taste quite the same. So onto the stove, over here. I'm going to bring it back to the boil, and then I'm going to turn it right down to a simmer. Now I'm going to chuck the sausage in before I forget. I'll just chuck it in like that. Chuck it in there. Put it under that puha. Now the wonderful thing about this is that you can go away and leave it now.
Wow, look at this.
Wow, that's just wonderful.
That's the big one.
Wow. Kia ora. Oh,
Here
Thank you. Kia ora.
beautiful.
we go. How fantastic. I haven't sat at a table with 3 beautiful blokes for a long time.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Doesn't matter about your ages.
They call us the 3 tenors.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to the
Tenerife.
reason why I call you 3 tenors. Hey, let's have a toast.
Yes. Kia ora.
Cheers. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Māori ora.
Maori ora.
Māori ora.
I mean, the thing with Tamaki in Auckland is a lot of the Paua, and I've been diving plenty west and east coast. You know, we both surf life-saving buddies. We see them out at Bethel's and Karekare. They don't grow that big on the east coast. I find out here on the east coast, whether that's definitely on the west coast here a lot. It's a thicker shell and it's a harder Paua, and the meat's just beautiful.
A little bit harder for people to get it all to collect on the west coast.
Yep.
It's a bit
So
rougher.
probably hence the reason why it's bigger, eh? I don't know. I'm not an expert, but tastes good.
Expert eaters.
So this is my Maori Nicoise.
Wow.
Maori Nicoise. I've grown a few of these
Have
in
you?
my time. Yep.
Tell me about those.
I won't translate what they mean.
Have a go. Have a go. Yes, go on.
Have a go.
We know what they mean.
Yes.
But you come on.
No. Anyway, as I was saying, the lettuce is great.
No.
It's the black means no. Hey. Equipment.
And down in the east coast, many names, uri, hoiho, and
No, aye.
different names like that, and the different names of varieties of rewi that they had, because obviously it was introduced to Aotearoa early in the piece. Back in even in the 1840s, there were black sealers and whalers at the time, and so they obviously brought their taonga from their countries, and our people, grew them. We were growers. That was our livelihood. So it was very easy for our people to grow the different strains of kumara.
Well, you know, on that little story, I'm going to go back to the kitchen, finish off.
Yep.
So I've got another little something that's going to rock your socks coming up.
Oh,
Thank you.
Can't wait. Well, this is good guys, eh? Whoa! Now we're talking. What's our sausage here, Anne?
You know, it's a sausage that they make up at Wellsford. And,
It's got a
do you
beautiful
like it?
taste.
Nice.
I like it.
What's the olive oil on the bread there? Beautiful.
It's olive ends from Canterbury there. You don't need to make those dangerous sauces.
Yep.
Just need to pour a bit of that olive oil on, and it's so good for us.
I think that you can be healthy at any size and any age if you just eat wisely.
So don't fill up on this one, because there's another specialty coming up.
Now she tells us. Pi waka waka, toka hia mai. O pi waka waka, re 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 mai.
Jingos, those pork bones are something else. I'm going to make the quickest steak dish you've ever seen in your life. I'm going to use the Wagyu beef. Now, the Wagyu beef is from bloodstock from Japan. And in Kobe, where they are native, they feed them on beer as well. Anyway, first thing I'm going to do is put my pans onto the stove over here. I'm going to fire these bok choy in there, and these sugar snaps into my pan. Toss them all around. In my oven here, I've got the moi moi potatoes and the organic carrots. I'm going to put a piece of this Wagyu beef on. Now, the specialty about this Wagyu beef is that it is marbled with fat through it. It is like the foie gras of beef. It is very, very beautiful to eat, very, very tender. You don't overcook it, you just sear it both sides, and then it is ready to eat. You really do have to be a steak lover. Throw that in there. These don't take much. They're pretty much ready. My steak here. Look how beautiful it is. Into here, I'm going to put a dash of sesame oil. Just a dash, because it's very, very potent, and a bit of soy sauce. They're ready. Turn that off. Turn the steak over. About 30 seconds on the other side. Get the plate ready, and we can plate up this beautiful dish. My moi moi potatoes are ready. I've got a couple of urinika potatoes as well there, and my organic carrots are going to be beautiful and crisp to eat as well. Don't forget the steak. It's beautiful, and you know what? That is ready. Get that off there. Let's start plating this up. Lovely bok choy here. Some sugar snaps. Let's cut this potato again. Look how beautiful it was in our Maori Nicoise. Just to remind you. There we go. A few moi moi potatoes. carrots. There we go. Bob's your uncle.
KAI ORA.
Wow, that's
Well,
rare
you-
as you can get.
It's still moving.
Slightly.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
What have
Good
overcooked
aromas,
those, Bob?
isn't
I
it?
hope you
That
don't mind, but
looks-
it's
Just great.
pretty special.
Mutton bird is great, isn't it?
I love it. It's another delicacy that I
Oh,
adore.
They're on the west coast.
Yes,
Out
yes,
here.
yes. Oh, yes,
don't
yes.
tell them too
In
much.
little boroughs,
Mm.
can't say where they are. They return each year to the boroughs, and they're there.
From Siberia.
Yeah, Siberia, Russia. We go right up through Malaysia, Fiji. Some of the birds in our particular area, they're monitored, and they've flown right up to Fiji, Russia, and they've tracked them up there. It's amazing, and they come all the way back to a little place in Waitakere called Ihumoana,
Oh, Lord,
which
don't
is an
tell
island
anyone.
there, and they stay there.
They snuggle in there, hop in the
snuggle
nest
in.
for about
That's
2
just
days,
the ones that have been
and go back to
recorded.
Russia.
And then they've also been found on the Chathams, these particular birds that come back where I live, and so, it's amazing how they travel far and wide.
How's that Wagyu there, baby?
Not bad.
Beautiful.
I hope it's tasted the same in the last
The world
1,000
keeps
years.
on eating.
Tell you what, it's nearly got me stonkered. But I'm just a mere female, so
Well, we're just blokes.
Bob's trying to turn us into
Well,
vegetarians.
that was fabulous.
That was beautiful.
I tell you what, it's not
Ko
off of
kita
that.
paku.
Okay. Well, and you know what? I'm just going off to the kitchen to prepare us a very, very, very light dessert.
Well, that's a bit disappointing.
Well, thank God we've got fruit again. Because if we had anything else, we wouldn't be able to fit it into our little old tummies now, would we? So I've got the classic New Zealand in your backyard fruit. I've got some kiwi fruit here that I've peeled, and I've got some feijoas. Making a little syrup over here. Got some water in the pan over there. I'm also going to throw some ginger in, cinnamon, a few star anise as usual. The same old classics. So peeling these are quite sweet, well they're not sour, and I'm just making that little old sauce to go over the top of it. So what I'm creating over here is just a little bit of syrup to go over this delicious fruit. Just cut these in half. Well, I'm going to fire them in. Let that stew away for a couple of minutes, and then the dish will be done. I'll bring this over to you so you can see there's no fuss, there's no bother, the dish is done.
Oh, thank you very much.
Wow.
Oh, that's
There we
nice and
go.
slimming.
Wow, that's good.
This is now the season for feijoas.
It is.
They're
So
great
It is.
suburban gardens everywhere. They love a good fence to sit
it's
against.
come off.
That's how we can beat the pukakals, actually.
Is this right?
They also love feijoas as well.
Do they?
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Yep. Well, they do at my place.
Very nice.
What are you going to play for me, or sing for me, or do for me
do one more
after
song,
that?
We
hit?
could get another song going. Do you want
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll join in.
to?
Okay.
tāne Ka korero aho Ki te whanau a tāne Ka tāne Whakapiri piri
Well, how fantastic. From KAI ORA, hei konei rā.
Ki ngā hua, ki ngā manu Ki ngā kirehe O te rangi o te wai O te o tūro
He mea tautoko
Toko nā te manga.
Kai pāho.